Okay, Google, how do I unshit my pants? Oh, hello. Where have I been, you ask? That's none of your business. I'm not a Chinese spy. Stop asking me. Algorithm, algorithm, algorithm. Seems like the only thing you hear these days is algorithm this and AI that. It's only a matter of years now until AI knows me better than I know myself. At least YouTube's learning algorithm is slower than a Galapagos turtle fucking. Your Facebook feed is just your high school friends buying their 5th house for the year on their parents' money and violent comm shootings. And Instagram's Discover page is just like a high school stoner, or at least mine is, because all I get is boobies and food. And Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, let's not talk about Twitter, okay? What is an algorithm? I've only said it 5 times in this video already. Essentially, it's a set of rules used to determine and solve other problems with calculations. Like how you accidentally stick around on an e-girl's TikTok one too many times and now TikTok thinks you're a fucking Overwatch player. And that brings me to the talking point of this video. TikTok's For You page has cracked the fucking code. Now, we all surely know this unless you're that one guy who still insists on using Instagram Reels, or even better yet, you're a 12-year-old boy and you use YouTube.
Oh my God.
Shorts. You've seen the memes, the Subway Surfers, the Family Guy, the 5-minute crafts. There's no mystery that this app wants your time and data. I'm not the Chinese spy. TikTok's the Chinese spy. And the way it gets copious amounts of my time is movie clips. Every now and then I'll get a little snippet of part 97 of some movie like Men in Black 3 for the 15th time, or the same 3 clips of Transformers, just in a slightly different pitch or sped up. Don't even get me started on those text-to-speech ones.
As a hamster, in order to be reincarnated again. John started a new round of suicide.
And you know what? It works every time. Do I need to invest any more of my already fleeting spare time into watching 400 parts of a movie? No. Am I going to do it every single time? Abso-fucking-lutely, baby! And then that got me thinking, what if I sat down and watched these movies and then reviewed them and then used that for content, because I haven't made anything in 2 months and it's getting to the back of me, and every time I wake up and I look at my computers that I spent thousands of dollars on, I go, why the fuck haven't I made anything, Matthew? Why haven't you made anything, Matthew? And I think, well, no one really cares. So that's exactly what I did. I set a cap at 10 movies and some ground rules, like no current box office hits. Sorry, Barbenheimer. I don't have 4 hours spare, and my son already owes me $80 from the gold class tickets that he refused me entry to. Thank you again, baby caveman. No Titanic. We all saw that at the peak of its time. I don't need to see Jack draw someone like a French girl. I don't need to watch the 3 stories inside of a story. And no Sigma movies. American Psycho is a cult classic of cinema, and it has been ruined by 13-year-old boys, and I do not want this kind of attention on this channel. And with that, we're off to find our movies, which wasn't that hard, because if you were paying attention, I mentioned how the algorithm is so cracked that literally it must have heard me talking about this idea 2 months ago when I had it, because my entire For You page has just been movie clips, so it was really easy to find 10. I did choose some over some because I hadn't seen them. I wanted to give some more first-hand experiences with these movies. Let me just say, to the fuckers that sit in the comment section of these videos and go like, oh, this is so unrealistic. I would have jumped out of the plane with my shoelaces and survived. Why? Why do you do this? Why is everyone on TikTok so keen to give their 2 cents when no one asked? And also, shout out to the people that ask what the movie name is. I also would like to know, but unfortunately, we're all just going to get Shrek the Third or Darude Sandstorm every single time. They need to make an app like Shazam, but for movies, so you can like screen record it or something, or it plays off the sound bites. And if you're an app developer watching this and you make that, you now legally owe me 25%. All right, that's it. We have the 10 movies. So let's watch them and review them. Cut to me now, or me in the future when I've watched 10 fucking movies straight. I'm going off the principle that you have seen most of these movies. If you haven't, there will be some spoilers, but I won't really talk about the storylines for these, because if not, we'll be here for 40 hours while I do an in-depth angry video game nerd style review for all of these movies. I'm not going to do that. So if spoiler warning sort of, but also just try and keep up. All right, let's blast through these.
Anyway, my life sucks until I become an anime boy. Now, if you die in the game, you die for real.
Despite watching this movie almost directly after Apple had released their Apple Vision Pro announcement, which was really existential and dystopian, this movie had so many references in the first 15 minutes that it was actually nauseating trying to keep up. I don't know who this movie was made for. Was it made for the boomers because of all the like 80s references, or was it made for like zoomers because of all the video game references? Maybe they were trying to cast a wide net. I'm not sure. All I know is I saw a video game character. I was like, very cool. I like that video game character. He's in the movie. Ah, man, that's cool. The fact that Twitch is still around in 2042 is both horrifying and impressive. So shout out to Jeff Bezos for that. And congratulations to Pay Money Wubby for his first breakout role by the seams as the villain, main villain, well, one of the main villains in this movie. So good on you, dude. Congratulations. I think this movie was trying to capture the charm of like 80s sort of Back to the Future vibe movies, but failed and missed the mark miserably. There's way too much exposition in this movie. Everything has to be explained. Its one saving grace was the VFX, and the CGI was really impressive. I know it's a recent-ish movie, so you can't be like, oh wow, it's ahead of its time. But still, it's pretty cool to see like Master Chief next to an Overwatch lady. So congratulations. The 40-minute and 46-second mark there is a Mr. Beast reference ahead of its time. I'm so upset that they shamefully stole it. This is just a fucking remarkably dull entry to this list. It only happened to make it on this list by happenstance. I remember watching this movie as a kid, and I remember liking it back then, but it is incredibly dated and set in its time 100%. It's again another one where it's sort of like, oh, look, the quirky cool guy from the mailroom. He's a gamer. He's an epic gamer. I don't know. The performance is meh in this one, if you could call it that. Jason Segal or whatever his name is does a pretty impressive thing, but the English accent is just way off for my liking. Jack Black, he's infectious, I can't lie, but again, he was just cast at everything, so I can't really like fault him for taking this role. The shameful act of overshadowing two massive comedians like Catherine Tate and Billy Colony, if that's how you say his name, with James Corden is a travesty, to say the least. I think this was one of his breakout roles into movies. So, I mean, I can't. What do you want from me, man? It's a kid's movie. I'm an adult. This is, what am I doing with my time? My fiance and kid are out having fun, and I'm sitting in a green screen mask complaining about Gulliver's Travels.
O.J. Simpson breaks his 45-year no-killing streak. O.J. Simpson kills those two people so hard,
If you want to see Nick Kroll and John Mulaney just actually have a blast on stage for an hour and a half, I couldn't recommend this special harder. It is so much fun. Nick Kroll and John Mulaney play so well together. It's super fun to watch them break character with their nonsense. The presence of Steve Martin with the tuna time was just so good. This is a more recent entry on the list, so I'm not going to try and ruin it as much as I can. I would recommend you watch it, even for an Australian who doesn't get half of the references. It was just fun. I was giggling the whole time. I love Nick Kroll and all of his other pieces of work, so naturally I was more inclined to be entertained by this, but I still think anyone would have a good time with this. It is fun. I recommended it to like 70 people after fucking woods. I was having a great time. Beanbag. I'm on a beanbag. I'm a grown man sitting on a beanbag, by the way. Picture a movie with Ryan Reynolds, Bill Hader, Maya Rudolph, Samuel L. Jackson, Paul Giamatti, and fucking way too many A-listers and B-listers to be seen on camera. And now, picture them as talking fucking snails. I don't know how this one snuck on the list. I also don't know how this one snuck past Broadway. I think I remember seeing this as a kid. But what the fuck was this movie? It's part of that era of kids animation movies where they were like, hey, look, man, if it breathes and it's got a face, slap a fucking face on it and ship it out. Put some A-list celebrities on it that can promote the fuck out of it, and we'll make $1 million. We'll easily make $1 million. They're talking fucking snails. They race. He races in NASCAR, and they let him into the NASCAR system. The worst thing about this movie is the extreme 2013-esque montage where they songify something and it goes viral, and fucking put me down. Were we all like that? Did I contribute to that? Probably. Don't go looking for it. This movie is 2.5 hours of everyone in the movie knowing what the fuck's going on, except from the viewer. I went back and watched the previous one to make sure I wasn't missing out on anything, to see if it was correlating or I needed to know this information. You don't. It doesn't make any fucking sense. There's a dinosaur now, but there's not a dinosaur. It's just, It's just Mark Wahlberg and Pretty Lady fight robots. That's it. The most impressive thing out of this entire movie is that Bumblebee finally speaks, and it's the most lackluster voice. How can you put someone like Optimus Prime next to you for like 5 movies with the most like impressive voice, and then just give Bumblebee like, this one I will spoil a little bit. The whole movie is centered around Cybertron coming to Earth to charge up like a fucking Apple Watch. Which is, I know, again, Transformers, robots in disguise, fucking people. It's not supposed to be realistic, but I'm pretty sure I don't have to be a genius to tell you that if anything entered Earth's atmosphere, it would be game over. And let alone straight past the fucking moon and take out half of the moon. I'm pretty sure that would be a bigger deal than Cybertron coming. Look, shiny robots fighting. What do you want? Just go watch it if you want. I wouldn't pay much attention to anything else because you're not going to keep up. So there's that. That's my honest review for that.
Buildings are broken. Basically, I'm bombarding. Casually create catastrophes, casualties, canceling cats got their canopies collapsing. Detonate a dime a dank, daily do and dough.
I won't lie to you. I utterly despise the trope of like, oh, this isn't where it begins. We need to go back. I fucking hate that. It's such a lazy thing, but I'll forgive it because this movie was what it says on the fucking tin. Weird. It took me 10-15 minutes for me to realize that this was like a gag autobiography kind of thing, a biopic. It wasn't real. Daniel Radcliffe in this is weird. You're gonna hear me say weird a lot. There were some really funny moments in this movie. Having Weird Al play the record producer, which I can only assume is probably one of the only real interactions that he actually had in his life in this movie, was really funny. And the Pablo Escobar scene was also very funny. Not a serious movie. It's made by Funny or Die. What do you want from them? You know, just it's a fun time if you're being dumb and not paying much attention. The acting in it is acting, if you can say that. It's really funny to see that Daniel Radcliffe, after Harry Potter, was kind of like, I'm gonna try to be serious for a minute. And then when everyone realized they would just be like, Wojak, it's Harry Potter kind of vibes, he was just like, fuck it, let's lean into just doing the weirdest fucking movies I possibly can. All the subsequent co-stars went off to do some pretty impressive pieces of work. Wasn't Hermione in Beauty and the Beast or something? I don't know. Google that. That's pretty impressive. Just watch it. Watch the funny movie and turn your... That's going to be the narrative for a lot of these movies. Just turn your brain off and you'll have fun, I guess.
Mama said there's my magic shoes. Mama said they'd take me anywhere. Of course, Mama used to beat me with rubber hose, call me retard.
Dude, please stop.
A movie where Ryan Reynolds plays a registered sex offender. Yeah, this is one of the most 2000 movies I've actually seen in a long while, and it is stuck in 2000. Also, Dane Cook's in this, so yay. It's 2000s boys humor. It's gross out. It's like all about nuts, and there was a D's nuts joke in there, so, you know, a few points for that. I could have gone without seeing an unedited, sort of like uncut sex offending scene at the end of the movie, immediately followed up after a existential, like realistic, like, oh, I'm having a realization moment, and then it follows up with that. So that's that. Look, if you had seen this movie 10 years ago, I would have thought this is the best movie I've ever seen, and I think that's what they were sort of relying on. It's very dated. There are some incredibly now big actors in this, so it's pretty funny to see that. Naomi is my spirit animal. If you've worked in retail or you work in hospitality, I would recommend you go and watch this. It probably should be part of the training videos for retail or hospitality workers, because there are some relatable moments even now, even as an Australian who's worked in retail his whole professional career.
Shit.
What?
Have you seen this as a character? Look at that. No.
Shut the fuck up! I've seen the egg wave guy!
Look at this little fella on there.
Yeah! It's getting over the idea of it.
Have you seen this? He's got sunglasses on.
This is one of the only movies where I forgot to write notes for, because I was captivated from the moment that it started to the moment it finished. I am going to assume that a lot of people have seen The Menu, because it was all over my For You page about a year ago, and I sort of just brushed it off like, I don't really like horror. I'm not a thriller or a horror or a crime kind of guy, so I just brushed it off. I'm ape brain, so I like comedy. But this was fun in a lot of ways. It was funny in some aspects. It was captivating. It was head scratching. There were some hand holding moments, I won't lie, where you were like, okay, I can kind of figure out what's going on. I'm not going to try and ruin this one because it is newish, and I want to bank on that some people have seen it, but I will say the chef's mess scene is where I sat up and started paying 100% attention. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. It's really good. It was really surprising because I've watched 7 really bad movies before this to get to this one. It was like TikTok was rewarding me.
I'm My man. My man. My man.
Another one that I sort of forgot to write notes for because, again, I was just sort of captivated. It's John Wick, but better in like 10 years before John Wick. I love Keanu Reeves, don't get me wrong, but Denzel Washington in this is amazing, and I had to sit there and go, what the fuck? The whole time I was so deeply paid attention. I think there is something to the boy ape brain in me that like goes like, yeah, I could be that guy. I'm him. This was the biggest I'm him performance I've watched out of all of these movies. It was really cool to see, so much so that I made an active point to put the second, and I think there's a third one on my list of to watch outside of this video because I was really impressed. So that was really cool that we got two really good movies back to back.
Are there any drugs in this house?
If there
Put that down for a second.
If there are, you better find them and give them to me immediately. No, they're not.
No drugs in the house right now.
Not that I know about. If I know about them, I'll find them and throw them away. It's not.
And the final movie on this list is Hot Shots Part 2. Why not Part 1? Well, because it didn't come up on my For You page. Are you paying attention, Daniel? Huh? Are you paying attention? Listen up, Steven. This isn't some fucked list, all right? This was God. God created this list. Hot Shots Part 2 is an 80s spoof movie before spoof movies were ruined by spoof movies. What do you want? It's Charlie Sheen being ridiculous. Every joke in this movie is ridiculous, albeit racist in some aspect, but it's funny and it makes sense and the jokes land and every joke has a point and it just works. It's not trying too hard because it's just taking the piss out of itself. If you haven't seen this movie, like your parents didn't make you watch this movie when you were a kid, then what you need to watch it now, because I watched this movie when I was a kid and I didn't really get the jokes. I just saw the kind of gross out humor and thought this is funny. And now I watched it again as an adult and it was really fun. It was also really cool because I was sick when I watched this movie and it was comforting in a sense. I don't know, maybe I have a soft spot for this. The jokes are really dumb. The president is eerily similar to some of the jokes that are made about the current president of the United States. Hey, look, I'm not political, man. Don't come for me. Go watch Hot Shots. It's when Charlie Sheen was somewhat of a decent actor. Have a fun time with that one.
Huh?
What are you doing?
What?
What are you doing?
Nothing. Did you watch me?
So what have we learned from this list? Well, it has taught me one thing, that TikTok has an absolute abhorrent taste in movies and is the most autistic sense of, hey, what's this movie kind of thing. It was fun. I've been looking for an excuse to watch a few more movies. I don't know. I think this was a fun little challenge for myself. I haven't really stuck to much in the last 3 months, and sticking to this was sort of like adding to a routine. And I'm riddled with autism, so routines are good. We are now going to transition back to Caveman on the desk. See you later. Bye. Thank you so much for watching the video. Go ahead and give it a like if you can. And if you really liked it, give it a subscribe. Comment down below your favorite movie that you've ever seen, and I'll reply back with a link to a TikTok page. I just quit my job, so videos will start coming up probably more frequently. You can find me most days on Twitch again from 7 o'clock onwards when little man here decides to go to sleep. You can find that over at twitch.tv/Cavemanbrain69. Mr. Cave, Baby Cave, do you have anything to say?
Please like and subscribe, otherwise Papa will not feed us. Send help my...
Are you ashamed of your father who has to wear a balaclava? Thought so. If we do get to 1,000 subscribers, this can finally come off. The deal that I made with the devil, it would be made redundant and I can take this mask off and show you my beautiful face. That's it from me. Thank you for watching. Say bye.
You weird, buddy.